Hey, where's the baby? Baby! Baby! We found out something very exciting this morning. We're going to a friend's house tonight, and I just wanted to be certain whether or not I could drink there or not. And so I was like, I'll just take a pregnancy test. It's too early to tell anything anyways, but I was like, I'll just do it just to feel better about it. And so, yeah, I went to the bathroom. It was all dark out still, like nobody was awake, and I took it. And, you know, the one line comes up and the other one didn't. And I was like, oh, yep, it's a negative. It's fine. But then a minute passed by and then the other one popped up and I was like, oh crap. So my son was with me in the bathroom, but I told him. So Billy was still in bed and I was like, oh, I gotta surprise him. And so I took everything out of the pregnancy box and then put just the positive pregnancy strip in it. And I put it back in the drawer and I was like, okay, when he wakes up later, I'll have him open it up. I was like, Billy, come help me take this pregnancy test. And he was like, I'm not getting off the couch. I was like, you have to come and help me. I was like, please, I can't get the plastic out the box, even though the plastic was already off the box. So I finally got his lazy bones into the bathroom with me and he opens up the box and it doesn't faze him that there's no plastic on it. He looks inside, there's nothing in it. He's like, there's no cup in here. So he goes into the kitchen, he leaves the bathroom, leaves the positive test there, and then goes and gets a cup to bring it back into me. And he does that twice. He finally comes in the third time and then looks at the stick and then realizes that it's positive and then freaks out.
You already did it.
Yeah.
When did you do it?
I did it this morning. Everybody always shows the pregnancy test, but it's just a gross little pea stick. But it's kind of hard to throw it away because it's like, this is how you found out. So I am exactly 4 weeks along right now, which is so weird. So weird how they calculate that because it's like you find out and you think that should be day one, but no, you're a month pregnant already. We told a lot of Billy's family, a lot of his sisters, kind of on accident. He was showing the family on Marco Polo his bread that he just made and the pregnancy test is right behind it. And so I was like, what's in the background? So they all know. We haven't told anybody else yet. Like, this just happened this morning and pregnancy just takes such a long time. Like, it is such a long time. You're gonna be seeing this video in 3 months from now. Oh, it's so exciting. This might sound weird. My first thought was that we're giving him a little sibling, which is just so exciting. But now we're just celebrating by eating some French bakery croissants and a little bit of coffee. Excited? Yeah. So yeah, I think I just put the camera down after we found out that we were pregnant because it's always so much. Like, it doesn't matter if you're trying it the first time or if you've been trying for years. Like, it will always be a shock. Like, it actually working is just such a crazy thing. Yeah, we found out that we were pregnant and then several weeks have gone by. I'm now 7 weeks pregnant and it's just, this is the stage where it's like, you start getting fatter and pudgier, but you don't look pregnant. Nobody can know that you're pregnant, which is just the worst part because you have this big, exciting, giant, life-changing thing. And it's like, oh, all my friends and family, I can't really tell you. But this time, actually, we did tell a lot more of our family because with my first one, we told one sister and that was it until we got the first ultrasound at like 12 weeks or something. And then we started announcing to everybody. But this time it's like, what? I don't know. It just all feels completely different. And so, yeah, we told like all of our immediate family, our parents, all 8 siblings between the 2 of us. Yeah, I think I'm going to tell some friends early on this time too because I'm in New Zealand and I don't... Oh my goodness. I'm just unsure of how it all works. But... Oh, look at my little baby. You always my little baby. Yeah. Yeah, you are. So it's all just kind of nutter butters. I don't know. It's so exciting. But this beginning part is definitely just... Hang on a minute. This beginning part is just so... like, not real. I don't know. But yeah, you start getting a little pudgier. And then by nighttime, like, no matter what I eat during the day, you just start getting so bloated that you look like you're about 4 months pregnant by the end of the day. But... in the morning I wake up fine. So like this is my belly right now. Not much It's also still the morning time. So it's like a little bit squishier. Nothing exciting. The baby's the size of a raspberry right now. Oh, so if you remember a while back, because I filmed this quite a while ago, I got gastro or a stomach bug and it was so bad. So I woke up one morning and I was feeling like kind of nauseous and I was like, is this morning sickness? Because I didn't have a lick of morning sickness with the first one, and so I was like, this is weird. Oh no, am I gonna have it for this one? I just had like a plain toast with some jam on it, threw it up, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is awful. Like, how do women go through this the whole time? Like, am I not gonna be able to keep anything down? Then the next time it was water that I couldn't keep down. I'm like, okay, this is either hypermesis gravidarum, and this is like really severe and kind of crazy, or I have a stomach bug. But I was like, there's no way that I have a stomach bug. I'm a 27-year-old woman. Like, I haven't gotten sick in ages. But yeah, so then I was sitting there Googling like hypermesis gravidarum, and they're like, oh, if you didn't have it for your first pregnancy or you don't have any family history, it's very unlikely unless you have twins. And I was like, oh no, that's my worst nightmare, is having twins. Or multiples of any kind. It just sounds traumatic to me. I freaked out about that for about 10 minutes, but yeah, the morning went on and I couldn't keep any liquids down. And I was like, yeah, this is a stomach bug, 100%. It was also crazy because being sick that early on, like the baby wasn't in a placenta. And so that was my biggest concern. I was like, the baby isn't protected. I don't know, it was a little bit scarier. So I hope that doesn't affect the baby at all later down the road, but it should be fine. I think a ton of women get gastro all the time when they're pregnant, so. It's just so peculiar at the beginning of your pregnancy because you have nothing to go off of. So you have your 2 pregnancy tests that you've taken and maybe the beginning of a missed period, but like my periods are always pretty irregular, and so sometimes it does just come like a week late. And so to go off of 2 little cheapo pregnancy tests that says that like your whole life is about to change is so bizarre. It's kind of nice once you do start getting some symptoms because then it's like, okay, this is actually happening, like it's real. Some of the symptoms that I have been having, I feel more pregnant early on this time. Like I swear I can feel my uterus stretching. Like it's like, oh, we're doing this again. Whereas with my last one, I feel like it was like fighting to stretch it all, and this time it's already there. I don't know. But yeah, pretty much the only other thing, I think it's just like more squishy in the belly. You can just like tell that your body's hanging on to fat a little bit more, which is annoying, but it's okay. It's part of the process. But yeah, other than that, that's it. Just missed period and feeling a little more squishy. I don't know. And then the other thing too is that I hesitate to call them cravings because I feel like cravings are so like over sensationalized with pregnant women. You know, it's like throw down everything, like go get me a jar of pickles or something stupid. But I definitely have noticed that I want more of certain things that I don't necessarily eat very often. Like I want veggie burgers so bad, and just like curly fries, but a lot of that like kind of junkier food. Oh, I would kill for some chicken nuggets right now. But other than that, food-wise, the only thing, and this was the same with his pregnancy too, is just I eat so much more fruit. Like I eat a lot of fruit anyways, but it's like constantly. Especially because if my stomach does feel a little bit weird for a second, I'll just eat like a little mandarin and it helps to settle it. But also just fruit always just sounds so good. I don't know if it's just the hydrating factor of it because I am pretty bad about drinking water. Anyways, I think that's all I have for right now. Like I said, I'm 7 weeks, so we'll see the next time I pop on here and give another update. I usually am not the kind of person that gives into or even like acknowledges cravings, but I feel like for weeks now I have just wanted like very meaty things. And so today I finally got Billy to go with me to the grocery store, and we got this little plant-based sausages and chicken, plant-based chicken. Oh, I'm so excited. And then plant-based burgers. Oh, and then we got some buns to eat all of them with. I wish I could eat all 3 tonight for dinner, but also my skin's having a moment, so I'm gonna try to make it a little happier. I got some organic rosehip oil. I actually used this on my belly and my face for my first pregnancy, and I really liked it. And so I got it again because I don't trust the moisturizer that I was using. And right now I'm using like just a bar of soap on my face, which is not great. So I got that as a moisturizer. And then I got some niacinamide because I've heard great things about it from The Ordinary because it's cheap. I'm gonna slowly try to incorporate this in to my little skincare routine that I don't have and see if it gets a little bit better. Ooh. Got my pickles. Got my tray full of homemade fries over here. It's not as good as real crap chicken though. I think I always tell myself hardcore before I find out that there's nothing in there and that I'm not actually pregnant. So it's always a huge shock to actually see the baby and to see that they're still alive. We got to, and I keep wanting to call it a her for some reason. But we saw the baby's heart beating away and the little feet, and it's just so perfect and precious. I'm just dying. Hello again. So I am now 12 weeks. I think this is a pretty comprehensive, discussion of what my first trimester has been like. Because it started out when I found out, and now this is right at the tail end of the first trimester. So, I mean, everybody says the first and the third are the worst ones for different reasons. So, yeah, luckily for me, the first one wasn't too bad because I get no morning sickness, nothing really out of whack. The worst symptom for me, though, is definitely lack of energy. And I read it in my little app that I love, but it, explained it to me in an article where it's saying, you're building a whole organ. You're making the placenta, and it is an entire separate organ, and so your body is just expending a lot of energy creating that, and on top of that growing and housing and feeding a baby and everything. So it takes a lot of energy. And I remember I felt the same exact way for William when I was pregnant with him. Especially the first trimester, I got 9 hours of sleep every single night because that's how much I needed to feel really functional and not really tired the next day. But I haven't been doing that this time. When you have a 2-year-old, your time is precious. So I just want to stay up and watch a show and relax and get a little bit of downtime. And yeah, I haven't been respecting my body in that sense. That's definitely been the biggest symptom or whatever you want to call it. I'm hoping that goes away with the next one because usually everybody says they get their energy back and they feel fine for their second trimester. That's kind of it. Most of the time I forget that I'm pregnant. I don't really feel pregnant. I don't know. It just feels like we're doing everything a lot differently for this one. Because with William, I ate so healthy. I probably ate sugar probably 10 times the whole pregnancy. I ate almost completely vegan. I'm also leaning more towards finding out the gender with this one, which is also really weird because with William, I had no desire. Okay, go with daddy. But yeah, this time I am way more leaning towards finding out the gender. And it's also because for him, I never thought of the baby as a girl, and I kind of always called it a him, he in my mind and even out loud. But for this one, I just think of it as a girl, and I shouldn't say that because I'm probably gonna be proven wrong in a few weeks here. But yeah, I'm just so curious. I want to know now. And then also the other thing too is that a lot of people have said this, and I think it's probably true. When you wait until the end, when you have the baby, the gender doesn't matter. It just is. It is that gender. There's nothing to celebrate about it anyways. So my brain doesn't work anymore. It just feels like mush half the time. But it's also really fun and exciting to find out halfway through your pregnancy because then yeah, it's something to look forward to, and it's just you feel like you're getting to know your baby a little bit more. Yeah, I think we might find out with this one. Did I talk about how hard it was to find a midwife? I royally screwed myself in 2 ways. One, I didn't realize that in Auckland you're supposed to find a midwife pretty much immediately after you conceive because there's a midwife shortage here, because midwives are kind of definitely mistreated here. I also scared myself by having sex when I did, because I had multiple people tell me this over the phone. They should really put out a public service announcement not to have sex from like this date to this date, because when you have a holiday baby, a lot of them take off for that time period, which makes an already like crucially low number of midwives like even smaller. So yeah, it was pretty stressful. I was calling so many people and every single one was like, no, I'm so sorry, but I am like overbooked. And I was like, oh my gosh. But eventually I called this one midwife. She was like, well, you'd have to be due early January. And I was like, well, how about January 1st? Because that is my due date, which is just the worst. I mean, the worst would be December 25th, but I think the second worst is definitely January 1st. Anyways, and so she was like, oh my gosh, that's perfect. And so got myself a midwife. Thank goodness. And yeah, I've met with her once and she's super nice and she wants to do like everything that I already kind of wanted to do. So I think it'll be good. I'm hoping it works out really well. Yeah, I think that might sum up the whole first trimester. I can't think of anything else. I mean, it's so hard to like not compare your first pregnancy to your second, because it just does feel like completely different. I don't think I gained a single pound with my first pregnancy during the first trimester. I gained 20 pounds for the whole thing by the time I gave birth. And this one, I think I've already gained like 5. And again, I don't think that's because like my body's doing anything differently. It's because I'm like, I don't know, I've become like a lot more lax of how I'm eating, and I'm like exercising less and doing the things you're not supposed to do. But yeah, I'm trying to be generous with myself and hoping that I have a little bit more energy for next trimester. Like I still am exercising and still trying to be more mindful about what I'm eating. But let's be real, I had a donut today. I'm gonna have like a fake chicken sandwich for lunch, and I'm very excited about it. Anyways, I think that's everything. That has been my whole first trimester. I'm very excited. On one hand, I want it to pass by quickly, but on the other hand, I do like pregnancy and I want it to go by slowly so I can enjoy it. So it's always the hard part about being pregnant. I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.